Hello, and welcome to My Hero Academia Season 2 recap. Recap means there will be spoilers, because that's what a recap is. I'm reading a thing. Go! This season begins with the UA Sports Festival. The first event is an obstacle race. It's between Totorookie, Bakugo, and Midoriya. Midoriya wins! Yay! This season really sets up those three characters as kind of our most important characters that we follow. Not to say that the other characters don't get like episodes devoted to them or like storylines, but those three are really the most important. The second event is a cavalry battle that I'm calling overly complicated catch the flag. Todorookie's team, which is him, Momo, Ida, and Kaminari, win. Bakugou's team comes in second, and Midoriya's team comes in fourth. This is out of 12. The third and final event is a one-on-one match. Think a bracket system like the World Martial Arts Tournament in Dragon Ball Z. It comes down to Bakugou versus Totorookie. Bakugou wins because Totorookie totally gave up. So Midoriya, Totorookie, and Bakugou each won one of the competitions. Midoriya still hasn't gotten a really great grip on how to use One for All. He broke, and in some cases re-broke, fingers in his fight with Totorookie. In the tournament, we do learn a little bit more about Todorookie's background. His father is the number 2 hero, Endeavor, who has a fire quirk. He tells Midoriya that his father paid off his mother's family to marry her in a quirk marriage. Endeavor literally made him to surpass All Might. His father is awful, and he basically abused him, kept him really isolated from his 3 older siblings, and forced him to train so that he could surpass All Might. His mother came to really hate particularly the fire side of him, and even went so far as to burn that side of his face. After that, his father had his mother committed, and she's still hospitalized to this day. Todoroki hates his father, and that's why he refuses to use his fire power. In their one-on-one match, Midoriya tries to reach him and tell him that, his fire power is his, even though he got it from his father, Endeavor. And their match was epic. From their match, 4 important things happened. Totorookie did use his fire side. Midoriya really put Totorookie in his head for his battle up against Bakugou. Midoriya did do some permanent damage to his right hand, and Bakugou is totally insane. Confirmed. Their rated art teacher, Midnight. Are all makeup writers perverts? That's really all I had to say about that. Anyway, moving on. During the tournament, Ida's brother is attacked by Stain, the hero killer. He's injured badly and has to quit heroing. Heroing is a verb, right? We'll work with it. This greatly affects Ida and influences his decision on who to take an agency internship with. So after the tournament, hero agencies offer internships to the students. All students must choose an agency to internship with. All the students also come up with their hero names, and they're great. They range from Midoriya choosing Deku, we get Froppy, Grape Rush, and Lord Explosion Murder, which I think in Japanese actually is kind of a pun on Bakugou's name. Not sure. Anyway, Todoroki takes an internship with his father, Endeavor. During Uraraku's internship with Gunhead, she learns martial arts. Froppy gets an internship with Selkie, where she really, really shines. Bakugou takes an internship with the number 3 hero, Best Genist. And Midoriya gets an internship with All Might's former teacher, Gran Torino, who really does teach him quite a lot. On a night out patrolling, Ida encounters Stain, who he has been looking for because he wants revenge. Midoriya and Todoroki show up to help him. Turns out Stain's power is to paralyze people whose blood he's ingested. The 3 boys have an intense battle and are able to arrest Stain and save the hero that he was originally after. Meanwhile, Gran Torino, Endeavor, and some other heroes are fighting Nobus that Shigaraki released on the city that same night. Shigaraki and Stain do not like each other. In the battle against Stain, 3 important things happen. In the end, Ida sustains permanent damage to his left hand. Totorookie, Ida, and Midoriya's mentor all get in trouble for them doing hero work without a license. Turns out you need a license to be a hero. So Endeavor does actually get all the credit for arresting Stain. Oh, yeah. And Stain's insane speech goes viral, leading to Shigaraki getting a lot of new recruits, specifically Dabi and Toga. We learn All Might's quirk, One for All's backstory, which is also the backstory of our main villain. Long ago, there was an evil man, All for One, which is also the name of his quirk. He can take power and keep it for himself or give it to others. He gave his younger brother a stockpiling quirk. Though he already had a quirk of his own, his quirk was that he was able to transfer his quirk, so he was able now to transfer his stockpiling quirk. Does that make sense? I don't know. Thus, his younger brother was the first owner of One for All. All Might is the 8th user, and Midoriya is the 9th user. The villain that All Might fought 5 years ago and gave him that serious injury in his torso that reduced the amount of time that he was able to maintain and fight in his hero form was All for One. Now, All for One is back and the leader of the League of Villains. He has a kind of paternal relationship to Shigaraki, who alternatively refers to him as father and master. All Might tells Midoriya that One for All was created to defeat All for One. This gets really confusing. Midoriya replies that as long as All Might is by his side, he can do it. All Might doesn't tell him that by the time that he faces off against All for One, he likely won't be at his side anymore. And can we just say, All Might is such a great hero in person. Like, he's not perfect, but perfection isn't what makes a hero a hero. He's just so great. Then the students all have to take their final exams. Before final exams, class ranking. Momo number 1, Ida number 2, Bakugou number 3. Who would have thought that he was a good student? I didn't. Midoriya number 4 and Totorookie number 5. I would have thought he would have been higher. A little disappointed in you, Totorookie. I'm sure your dad is too. Moving on. In the final exam, the students are paired up against each other for team battles against different professors. There are 2 important matches. The first is Totorookie and Momo face off together against Aizawa. Totorookie learns that he can't always go at things alone, and Momo gets a very needed self-esteem boost. The other important battle is Bakugo and Midoriya against All Might. Bakugou is extra obstinate and refuses to work with Midoriya. He wants to win on his own. All Might appreciates that he never stops smiling. And Midoriya hits All Might with everything he has and grabs the unconscious Bakugou and runs away, so they do both pass. 5 students fail. 5 students fail. Everyone else passes. Yay! Everyone has to go to a summer camp. To prepare, the class goes to the mall, where while there, Shigaraki shows up and threatens Midoriya. It's literally terrifying. Shigaraki decides on his goal, because this whole time he really hasn't had one, because he's a very childish, very mature character. His goal, he decides, is to create a world without All Might and show the world how fragile society's sense of safety is. Thus concludes My Hero Academia Season 2. See you for Season 3.